This is Husky Sports Friday. Scott Gross along with Jeff Giesen, the head coach of the St. Cloud State women's hockey team. Last weekend, Coach, you guys are up in Providence, Rhode Island, and had kind of a quirky trip up there. Well, we'll get into that a little bit later, but you guys are taking on the Friars last Saturday. And it seems like you guys had everything intact early on. You guys had a 2-0 lead going into the final period, and the Friars bounced back. You guys were going to overtime, and then that Saturday skate around with a 2-2 tie. Your impressions on that first game?
Well, we started out the game playing very well, and I thought we could do a few things better, and then we kind of stalled out in the second, and then and nothing really happened in the third. A team's got to learn how to win those games and kind of play with the lead. And they got one, and then they got the one at the goalie pole. Just kind of that's hockey. I mean, we're literally an inch away from a defender making a play, and the game's over. Versus them getting kind of that garbage 6 people all in front of the net whacking at it, and it goes in. So. But we played very well in the overtime until we got a questionable, I'll call it a questionable penalty call late in that overtime. So we had to kill off a power play the last 2 minutes of overtime. But you know what? We played well. It was a good start to the road trip, and you just got to find a way to win those games.
Julie Friend, solid between the pipes again for you, 39 saves, I believe, in that game. Hallie Schmidt had her first goal of the year, and Molly Mott added her second of the year. So you guys are right there. You mentioned they pulled a goaler final minute of the game, and they put one in the final second. So that sent it to overtime, but more or less you guys came away with a tie, and you guys looked on to Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and then Sunday they kind of jumped on us right away and then got up, and then we battled back. We got it to 3-2, and then pulled the goalie, and then they got the open netter. So I mean, it's just another good game. They're a pretty good team. They got good size and good speed, and obviously playing at home. They're going to be a team. I talked to a couple of they had some other coaches from the Hockey East teams that were there scouting us, and I kind of asked how they were going to be, and they're going to be a team that's going to be in the mix and probably a playoff team out there. So it was a good matchup and a good team for us to play and raise our level coming back in here to the league.
A weekend of good hockey for you girls out there. Again, Sunday you guys fall 4-2. It was close early on. Callie Dahl scored a first period goal that made the score 1-1. Providence would score 2 goals to make it 3-1. Then Abby Ness would net her second goal of the season to make it 3-2. And as you mentioned, Coach, the empty netter later in the game to make it 4-2. So a loss and a tie on the road, East Coast, long road trip. You guys had the whole month of October on the road, 8 games total, 4 weekends, and now you're finally going to come home. But before you guys got home, you ran into a tropical storm, Superstorm Sandy out there. And if you could explain just a little bit how you guys knew that you would not be flying back Monday morning.
Well, our flight was scheduled Monday morning, so we were having breakfast with the team, and our bus driver actually called and said, "Hey, I'm here, but I just heard on the radio that all the flights out of Logan in Boston are canceled." And I'm like, "Well, ours was still up when I got up at an hour and a half ago." So I checked our phone and saw, yep, our flight was canceled. So we were sitting in the hotel and obviously found out our flight was canceled. So time difference was a little bit of an issue because obviously back here our travel agent and even I gave Heather Weems a call pretty bright and early, 6:30 her time. I let her know what was going on, and I called Sun Country directly. That's who we were flying with, and they said, yeah, it's looking like Tuesday or Wednesday or Wednesday or Thursday before the airport at Logan's going to get going. So that was kind of where we're at, and so we sent the girls back to their rooms and talked to the hotel about staying, and kind of went to work on what our options were.
And then the girls would go to work too. They were emailing professors, getting their homework, and basically it was a kind of a day or two extra for them to kind of hang out in the hotel. From what you're telling me, you guys were not in any real serious danger with the storm up there, being where you guys were in Rhode Island. So they kind of just hung out, looking at the website. They're making videos, they're writing blogs, they're doing all kinds of things. So it seems like you coaches, the coaching staff had them pretty comfortable.
Yeah, they were. I mean, we were in a good spot, and yeah, we were very safe, and the hotel was great, and had some accommodations for us. So we kind of just worked through that logistically, and then kind of that was our day off anyway. So it was kind of a day to relax. Everything was closed. There wasn't much to do. I think the boredom hit them a little bit, and that's why you saw some of the video posts and a lot of card playing, and in the lobby getting out of their rooms at least. And then Tuesday we got into the swing. Providence gave us some ice time. We went over and had a practice in the morning and went to lunch, and then the mall was open, so they had some time to do that and kill some time that way.
So they're relaxed. What about you? What about you and your coaching staff? You guys have fielded a lot of phone calls from reporters, much like myself. You camera crews ready to greet you guys when you come home. So how hectic was it for you and your coaching staff in those 3 days?
It was. I have great. We had great support. I mean, obviously, Britta was with us on the trip, and Dean Thibodeau does a fantastic job. So he's with us on the computer, and we were kind of set up shop in my room and kind of looked through some scenarios and looked at bus companies, looked at flights. We're talking back with the people here, so they did a great job, and it's easy when you got good people around you.
So you guys are finally back home, and you're going to stay home now for a while. You've got Ohio State here, your home opener on Friday and Saturday, and then Lindenwood comes in the following weekend. How nice is it to be home finally, and can you assess your first 8 games of the season all on the road where you guys finished 2-5-1?
Well, yeah, I think, talking to the girls yesterday, I don't know if it was as much just the fact of getting home or the fact that we were getting home and didn't have to go anywhere was the excitement and knowing that they were going to be able to be home for a few games. So it's exciting. It's exciting to finally have our home opener, and yeah, everybody else. I mean, we're 8 games in, so everybody else has kind of had that luxury, and we're getting to it now. I've said before, I really like this team. I think we've made some progress. Obviously, we'd always like more wins in the win column. We've had some games that we maybe let us slip away, but we're right there. I mean, we're a team that until we find some goal scoring on a regular basis, we're going to need to win 2-1, 3-2. And give ourselves a chance, and that's what we've done. We've had great goaltending, we have good defensemen, good team defense, and our offense is being pretty good, but not good enough to win a big shootout game.
Your goaltenders have been very good. Sophomore Julie Friend has played in 4 games, a goal allowed average of 2.95. Freshman Katie Fitzgerald, also 4 games, her goal allowed average of 2.27. So those 2 are keeping you in the game. But you mentioned getting shots on net and scoring goals has been a problem. 10 goals only on the season through 8 games. And it looks like when you guys shoot over 30 shots in a game, historically, you guys are 58, 52, and 13. So you win 53% of the time. And that average goes up the more shots you get on. And when you guys can score first. So scoring first and getting a lot of shots on net seems to be the Huskies' Achilles.
Yeah, and that's been our focus. I mean, our goal going into each game is 30 shots, and that's the benchmark we set, all the time. So if you can get 30, the odds are a great goal is at 90% saves. You're still going to get 3 goals, and in the way we're playing good defense right now, that should give us a chance to win the game or be in the game. So, I mean, it's just finding a way, and players sometimes I think squeeze the stick a little too tight and want to make a really cute play rather than just throwing the puck to the net, and we're trying to get that mentality switch a little bit where they'll just throw some pucks on the net. Some good things can happen.
And going with mentality, when the Huskies score first in the game, it doesn't matter when it is. You guys are 2-0-1 on the season, and historically 120, 50, and 16 when you get that first goal of the game. When you lead after the first period, you're 83 and 18 and 9. After the second period, 118 and 18. So getting that early lead and keeping it through 2 periods really, really must bode well as far as confidence as the girls go.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It builds some confidence, and you can play a little differently. We always say that if we score first, even on a team that's really, a quality team, and obviously we play a lot of those top 5, top 10 teams in our league. But if you can score early on a team, everybody has to play different. You play with a little more swagger, and they have to play a little more, desperate to get back into it. So, it definitely helps. But again, it goes back to just getting pucks on the net.
You guys are certainly trying to, looking at some of the shots that the girls have had this year. Audrey Hamner has had 20 shots on net, only has 1 assist to go with that. Molly Mott, Alex Nelson, 4 points apiece to lead the team. Haley Schmidt is there. She also had a goal over the weekend. She has 3 points. And defensively, too, you've got a couple of girls there that are all over on the ice. You have 27 blocks as a team. And I believe, looking at here, you have Lisa Martinson, who has 9 of those blocks, and Michelle Burke has 8. So you have 2 girls defensively who aren't afraid to dive in front of the puck.
No, we take a lot of pride in blocking shots, and that goes to our team defense. I mean, whether it's penalty kill or just playing 5-on-5, I mean, blocking a shot's a great thing for our team, and you can kind of hear the girls get some energy off that.
This weekend, finally, home, the Buckeyes of Ohio State come to town. They're 7-3 on the season, ranked now number 10 in the standings. What do you know about Ohio State? I know that the last time they came to the National Hockey and Event Center, you guys fared pretty well against them.
Yeah, I mean, but they're an improved team, and they're a team that's scoring some goals quite frequently right now. They threw up 10 against Bemidji last weekend, and they got some offense going. So we're gonna have to be ready for them. And obviously, having the week we've had, we need to be focused on what's going on here and still remember we got to play a game on Friday night. So I think we'll be ready.
How much does the week you have hinder the matchup coming at home, or is it just good to be home?
I think it's just good to be home. I think our girls are excited to play in our own rink finally and just be home and go through a little bit of normal routine and not have to get on the bus and pack it up. So no, I think they're pretty excited, and I don't think it's going to hinder us at all.
Coach, I thank you for your time. Thanks for the interview, and I know you've had a hectic week and you got a lot to get to as well. Good luck this weekend versus Ohio State. We will broadcast right here on KVSC Saturday afternoon's game, so keep it tuned right here to 88.1 FM on Saturday afternoon for the second game of the home opener as St. Cloud State takes on Ohio State. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
That's Jeff Giesen. I'm Scott Gross. This is Husky Sports Friday on KVSC.